Schmo with the pro, with the president of Showtime Sports, Mr. Steven Espinoza in the flesh, Super Bowl Radio Row, Phoenix, Arizona. How we doing?
Hey, I'm excited. I love the atmosphere. It's great here.
The Schmo's excited too. Who's going to be winning the Super Bowl? Do you think it's going to be Philly or do you think it's going to be Kansas City?
As much as I hate to say it because I'm a Cowboys fan, it's going to be the Eagles.
It's going to be the Eagles. You like Jalen Hurts?
I like their squad overall. I mean, it's hard to go against Patrick Mahomes, but the Eagles have a strong squad top to bottom.
Well, hopefully that ankle holds up for Patrick Mahomes.
You're right. Absolutely. No, it'll be a phenomenal game. It's going to be a close game. It will not be a blowout.
We're here in the home city of David Benavidez. The Schmo circled on the calendar, March 25th, MGM Grand. It's a banger of a fight. We got Caleb Plant and Benavidez. In a time when everyone doesn't like to fight each other, these guys are fighting in their prime. The Schmo can't wait.
Absolutely. And on top of that, not only is it a great style matchup, it's two guys who don't like each other at all. And anytime you've got a fight that has that kind of personal animosity, it brings a whole nother level of energy to it.
What do you think's the biggest lesson Caleb Plant learned from that loss against Canelo Alvarez to get back in there, get right on the horse, and face these killers so he can get another shot at the titles?
I think it's just, facing that skill level. I mean, what we saw, if you go back to Canelo fighting Floyd, and it just picking up stuff, Canelo became a much better fighter after that. And I think what we'll see from Plant is a much improved Plant based on just little things he picked up in the experience against somebody as elite as Canelo is.
Now, you are somebody who's invested in the Jake Paul experiment. You've worked with Jake Paul. How come you're no longer working with Jake Paul for this upcoming fight with Tommy Fury?
It just didn't work out. We've got a really busy schedule. We've actually got our own fight the day of Jake's fight, and then combined with sort of our schedule, the fact that it's over in Saudi Arabia, it just didn't make sense for us. But we'd love to be in business with Jake in the future. I think we will be in business with him again.
He has legitimate skills. He's a professional boxer, YouTuber route, then professional boxer. What's impressed you the most with the Jake Paul?
Well, look, he still sometimes gets put in the category of influencer or YouTuber boxers. The reality is, there's Jake and there's everyone else. From the skill level. And from the way he's going about his business, he's not just fighting other influencers or other YouTubers. He's fighting, professional athletes, and now with Tommy Fury, a professional boxer. So that's something that puts him a level. And I'm not trying to denigrate the influencer boxing. I think it helps support and grow the sport. But Jake's doing it at a different level of seriousness.
Since you're not promoting this fight, can the Schmo get a prediction out of you? Is it going to be Tommy Fury? Is it going to be Jake Paul getting their hand raised?
I think since I'm not promoting it, I've got to go with Jake. I think he's had tremendous growth as a fighter, and he has that one thing that you can't really teach, which is the power
and the marketing capability to take this thing on a global stage.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tommy Fury's a great opponent. Everyone's been clamoring for him to fight a real fighter. Well, Tommy's a professional, real fighter.
One of the baddest men, if not the baddest man on the planet, Francis Ngannou. He's a free agent, former UFC. I guess he's still technically the UFC heavyweight champion. He wants to get into boxing. He's called out the likes of a Tyson Fury, a Deontay Wilder. Would you put yourself in the business of promoting a fight with Francis Ngannou and one of those guys, maybe?
I think so. I mean, look, to me, it's sort of like it's a comic book matchup. It's Superman versus the Hulk. That's what a Wilder versus Ngannou fight would be. We'll find out how good a boxer he is. But you can't question his power and his athleticism. You see two big guys like Wilder and Ngannou in there, or Joshua Ngannou for that matter. That's something that's a spectacle.
Would you make special rules and regulations like a Mike Tyson guest referee? Would you like to see in a cage? We're talking 4-ounce MMA gloves, or it's got to be traditional boxing to put the Steven Espinoza Showtime stamp on it?
I wouldn't want to make it too much of a circus, because at the end of the day, these are, two guys who are elite athletes. Ngannou has always had an interest in boxing. He's trained in boxing. So I think, look, let's put it in a straight-ahead boxing match, and, whoever's got the biggest punch is going to win.
Can you tickle the Schmo's pickle and just let us know why we're not seeing the two top guys in the welterweight division, Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford? We know money's the big factor with all these types of things, but are we going to get this in 2023? We're going to get it in 2024? Are we never going to get it? We're going to get it too late like we did with Floyd Money Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao?
I'm not ready to quit on Spence Crawford yet. And I think there's still interest. I know both fighters are still interested. It's still worth an effort. Look, at the end of the day, there's all these narratives about this, that, and the other. the real question is, can they get on the same page business-wise? Different people have different senses of their own value, and that's really the disconnect here, is each fighter has a different sense of what they bring to the table and what their value in the fight would be. And unless that gets resolved, then guess what? Then we're not going to see the fight. But I think and I hope that maybe reasonable people will prevail. We'll be able to find some middle ground where both sides are happy, or at least both sides are equally unhappy, and maybe the fight can get made.
Well, same question then goes for Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. We're going to see this thing in April. We're going to see this in May. We're going to see it in the spring, maybe summer.
I'm very confident we're gonna see that fight. Like I know where all the drama has been. I've seen all that, but look, boxing fans love to react to every ruiner. They're starved for every latest development. Somebody posts an emoji and everyone sort of looks at it in microcosm. What does it mean? Does it mean the fight's off? As Ryan said just on social media last night, his focus is only on Tank Davis and vice versa. So I think when you have two fighters that are not going to let anything get in their way from getting this fight, then I think the fight will happen, and I believe it will happen for April 15th.
There we go. Could we get a final message for all the Steven Espinoza fans out there worldwide?
Well, keep supporting the Schmo, my guy.
We appreciate that. This is your floor, not the Schmo's.
Oh, no, absolutely. This is your world here.
He's the pro. I'm the Schmo. Super Bowl Radio Row. We're out.